Hello guys, welcome to another episode. In today's video, we're going to talk about three different things. The first one, we're going to tell you exactly a place where we outsource our magnets, banners, yard signs, things like that. Second, we're going to talk about a tool where we get some logos, designs for business cards. And last, we're going to tell you a few things that we do to try to stay ahead of our competitors. Now let's get started. And the first one is the place where we outsource our products. This is exactly the place. It is gotprint.com. Now you might be asking, why do we outsource certain products? The main reason is because, if you've been following us for some time, by now you should have an idea that we just use vinyl cutters to make our products. It doesn't matter if it's just banners, yard signs, car decals. We use either cameo cutter, graphic. We do not have any digital printer. So that's the reason why we try to outsource our products. And here you can see all the different options available. You can get business cards, car magnets, vinyl banners. Another great thing about outsourcing your products is because if let's say if you have or are dealing with a customer that has been with you for so long, and let's just give you an example. If this customer wants like 50 yard signs and you outsource them, then you can always give them a better deal. I'm not saying that you should do it, but that's what we try to do whenever we are dealing with a great customer. That's one of the reasons why we also outsource our products whenever we cannot make them ourselves. Here I have an example of a customer. Let me show you the design. So this is the design that we made for this one in particular. The one that you see here on the window are business cards, but we also made car magnets, and this is the original. I will talk a little bit about this in a second. So the great thing when we outsource these products for them, what we did, we actually sent them straight or shipped them to their address. We didn't even have to, or they didn't actually have to come and pick them up. Like I said, they've been with us for a long time, and they also have another company. So this is a new one that they just started, and they actually hired us to do the design and to outsource business cards, car magnets, and all that. So they just sent us the payment, and that's another thing I want to talk about. If you are going to outsource some product, make sure that you get at least 50%. Hopefully you can get the full payment ahead before placing an order. That's what we try to do, because you never know, especially with new customers. So this is another great reason why we outsource, because you can also ship them directly to their address. We try to be honest with our customers. We tell them that we're not gonna make them ourselves, but we try to tell them that we outsource those products, and you'll be surprised to learn that most of the customers are gonna be okay with that. If you're liking this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Thank you for your support. Now, when it comes to outsourcing, it's always recommended to do your own research, because there are so many different options. But this is the main, or actually the place where we started outsourcing our products. But there's another great option, which is eBay. I will talk a little bit more about it in just a second. But before I change the screen, I actually want to show you the order for the customer I was telling you about. So the first order were business cards, and 1,000 business cards, and you can see the price here. I'm going to show you everything, like how much they charge for even the shipping and all that. So in the end, where the full price was $40. And then the next order for exactly the same person, they decided to add something on the back of the design. So let me show you the front and then the back of it. It was a little bit more expensive. It was like $6 more, so not a big deal. And then the next order, which is the one that they are about to they're supposed to get it today, and they are car magnets. And the reason I'm showing you all this is because I want you guys to see the actual price of the product. And we paid $85, 86, we can round it up to 86. That was for 4 magnets total, 16 by 23. And as you can see, there's plenty of room to maneuver. You can actually make some money. If you own a vinyl cutter, that shouldn't stop you from selling these products. If you cannot afford getting a digital printer, this is a great option. Now I'm gonna move to the next place where we've been getting some yard signs and magnets. And actually this is like so far this has been even a better option, ebay.com. And this is the first order that we placed, actually not the first one, but the most recent one for yard signs. Let's go ahead and click on the details so you guys can see exactly how much we paid. The full price after tax and everything, shipping and everything, $49.22. And that was for, let's see here, it was actually only 4 yard signs. And let's go back and show you the one we placed before this one, which is it was a bigger order. Now see, this is the full price for 10 yard signs, and it actually included the stakes, so it was $122, about $12, almost $13, but that's a lot cheaper than if you actually get them from Gotprint. That's a huge difference, if you can see. That's why I always recommend that you guys try to get different options. And something I want to also talk about is a third place where we outsource our transfers, but I'm not gonna get too much into that because we have videos where we show you exactly how and where we outsource these. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna make sure to leave a video where you will get more a better idea on how we outsource and the type of transfers that we use. But this is another option for outsourcing, like if you need to print a full image. Now I'm gonna go back to this order, the one that I was talking about earlier, and for our next thing we want to talk about is the place where we get a lot of different logos. And especially if you are just getting started and have no idea what to make for your customers, this is a great option, and it is freepik.com. I think it's a little bit over $100 per year that you have to pay to be able to use their logos or whatever they have to offer here. I'm gonna refresh the page so you guys can see from like the front page of it. Anyway, so it is www.freepik.com, and remember that in order for you to use their images, you have to pay a subscription, which we already have. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. Like you can type in any logos, let's say drywall logo, and you're going to get options. Honestly, when we started using this, they didn't have these many options for logos. I'm glad to see that they are updating a lot of different options, which this one is a great logo. Honestly, I've seen it before, and this one too. This one is a great logo. And see, you can, if you are running out of ideas, you can always come here and just look for different logos. I know that it's not for everybody. I know some people would rather do the work, but if you are like us, you're not a graphic designer, and sometimes you have no idea what type of logo come up with. This is a great option, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this logo in just a few minutes, but I'm going to go back to this design. So our customer sent us this image of what she had in mind. She wanted a little house with a broom and a bucket and all that. So what we did, we went to this page here, to freepik.com, and we just did clean logo. Actually, what I did, I actually went to cleaning logo because and it is hidden here. So there are so many different options here in this little image. You can see this is the little house. Let me go back and show you. So that's exactly the little house, and we added some color to close to what a customer was using. So she was looking for business card. This is the mock-up that either someone made for them or that they had, and I just try to use the same, like very similar clip arts and all that stuff. She was very happy with this design because it reflected what she was looking for, and this is a great option. Why you should consider using this if that's an option for you. And let's go back to the drywall logo. If you've been doing this for some time, I mean, you already know that most of the well-established businesses, I would say probably 100% of them have their logo. Usually the ones that are just getting started have no clue, or some of them do have a clue. Some of them can tell you what they're looking for. And so this customer in particular, this logo, and this is the name of the business, he didn't have any logo, but he told me he was looking for a house and a guy doing drywall. So that's what I did. I went to look for this, and I downloaded it here. You can see that you have the options to download it here if you have the subscription. And that's exactly what we did. We downloaded it, and then I just type in his information, and see, and I also added the watermark just to make sure that he didn't steal the logo. And you know what happened with this customer? We never heard back from him, so we only invested a few minutes, not even half an hour, to make his design, because we were able to just use this here, type it in, and we never heard back from him. This is a great option, especially for someone that's just getting started, a customer that's just getting started and doesn't have much money to invest to pay. Let's say a couple hours of graphic designing is going to cost like $200. They're not even willing to invest that much money in card magnets, so let alone, like, they're not going to invest that much money in just a logo. But if they have their own logo, then that's a whole different story. Now I want to talk about a few things that we do to try to stay ahead of our competition. And the most important thing is that you have to know your customer. And here's a basic description of our clients. 90% are Hispanic. Most of them work 6 days a week, and most of them are small to medium-sized business owners. You get my point. I think it's very important that you come up with a list, and that way you will get to know them better. And now I want to mention a few things that we believe are advantages that we have over other local businesses. The first one is the fact that we are bilingual and we can speak English and Spanish, so we can communicate with them. If they feel more comfortable talking in Spanish, then that would definitely be an advantage. On Facebook, we join a lot of Hispanic or Latin groups, and we also do our ads in Spanish. As I mentioned, most of them work 6 days a week. The advantage that we have is that we are open on Sundays. We work Monday through Sunday. We also work on holidays. I mean, we try not to do it, but if we have a big project, then we would go ahead and do it. So working on Sundays would definitely be an advantage that you are going to have. Now, the more services you offer, the better. That's why I talked about outsourcing business cards, flyers, and all that stuff, because the more services you offer, the better. We also sell websites, so that's an advantage. If you can have the customers keep coming back, and if they know that they can come to you and get any product that they will need, I think that's going to be an advantage over the competition. Now I want to talk about two different points which are the opposite and that we used to do and that we recommend that you stay away from them. When we got started, we try to get as many customers as possible, and we would come to their places. I mean, we still do it once in a while if they have more than 2 vehicles. I mean, if it's 2 or 3, then it'll be worth it if you go to their places. But I mean, coming up with the measurements and all that, that's going to be a challenge. For that, we would have them come to our place, and then we will measure all the surfaces and make sure that the decals are the right size. And then day of the installation, then we may come to their place. And now the last one, which is the worst thing that you can do, and I gotta admit that we did at some point, that is being the cheapest one. It might work, but remember that if you are cheap, you will only get cheap customers. No matter how much or what a good deal you give them, they will always complain. And that's like the worst strategy that you can use to stay busy. Doing market research is always recommended. Go to local places where they do what you do, and that way you will get a better idea. I mean, we have videos where we did that. I know it's not easy. One thing you got to keep in mind though is that the market is always changing, and what works today it's not guaranteed that it will work tomorrow. What I mean by that is that a lot of other Hispanics are starting their own businesses here in Indiana, and so that advantage that we used to have is almost gone. Now, the examples that I use about being bilingual and all that, I'm not saying that you should learn a second language, but I'm just telling you the advantages that we have, and we have to make the best of those. If you would like to support our channel by becoming a VIP member, just go to the join button and you will get all the different options available. Make sure you read each one of them, as they all offer different perks. If you want to be able to use the decal calculator, gotta make sure to select the gold membership. Thank you for your support. Remember that if you like this video, we would really appreciate if you give us a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And also, if you want to get any of the materials or equipment, just go to our website, that is www.rdidecals.com, or just go to the first comment. You will have all the links available. Thank you for your support.